And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day and another nice day out. I'll tell you about the weather in just a moment. On our show today from Advanced Ear Care, we have Stuart Spencer is here. Several things he's going to talk about today, how you can come in for maybe you're not hearing well and they can take a look at your ears and the audiologists that they work with, and so I'll tell you all about that. Also, we have from the Newport Harbor Orchid Society, we have Marilyn Bauer, and coming up this weekend, they are going to be having their summer exotic plant and orchid sale up at Westminster Mall. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll tell you all about that. And from Memorial Care, we also have a doctor on. He's a thoracic surgeon at Saddleback Medical Center. And we're also going to bring you a segment from ActiCare. Now, as far as meetings go today, United has their regular monthly board meeting. That's at 9:30 in the boardroom that we show you live. And the third Water Conservation Subcommittee, that will be at 11 o'clock today in the Sycamore Room. So you're invited to go to either one of those. Now, as far as the weather goes, we're continuing with this mild weather, mild compared to what we have had. However, this is really what we should be having, kind of the mid-80s or so. And that's going to continue all the way into next week. Now, today and tomorrow, we still got that nice marine layer that's out there, and that's coming up from the subtropical moisture off Baja California. That'll continue today, tomorrow, maybe on Thursday. We'll see about that. As we go forward, I told you how the temps will go up slightly. Right now, though, what's happened, they've kind of backed those temperatures off by about, I would say, by about 3 or 4 degrees. So as we get to the weekend, it's not going to be, it'll be a little warmer, but not quite as warm as I thought it was going to be. So, and really, that 87 maybe on Saturday and Sunday, and then as we get to Monday and Tuesday, we're going to back it back down by a couple degrees. So we're really going to be in this nice, typical, normal temperature range of the mid-80s all the way into next week. I don't know how far in, but at least Monday and Tuesday. So that's really good, and we're going down to the 60s at night. I know our house this morning, for the first time in a long time, it was 62 degrees. I've usually been seeing about 67, even up to like 72 at you know, like 6 in the morning. But it went down, and it was kind of nice. I actually had hot coffee this morning instead of iced coffee. That's the first time in probably about 3 weeks, so kind of nice. But the weather is going to be great around Orange County today. Mild weather. Beach is 79 degrees everywhere else in the mid to upper 80s. Lake Arrowhead, you can see at 79. Palm Springs is holding steady out there at 109, which of course would be a normal temperature for this time of the year out there. So go out and enjoy this. A lot better week this week than what we've had the past couple of weeks. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you asked me what I wanted to be when I was a child, I would have told you a princess or an astronaut, maybe even a chef. But things change. I may not have become a princess, but I found someone who treated me like one. I may not have become an astronaut, but I still got to see the world. I may not have become a chef, but you would never leave my house hungry. The Emeritus Institute has kept my love of learning alive. Every day is a new adventure, and the Emeritus classes have made it possible to keep living out my dreams. Sign up today and begin your life's next adventure.
Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry. Head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
Do you hear but not understand? I have good news for you. a proprietary system for verifying hearing correction, verified best speech clarity, is now available through the All-American Hearing Network. This means hearing improvement can now be verified and documented. Your individual hearing correction is guaranteed in writing. Call today to reserve your complimentary private consultation and experience word clarity dialed back into focus on the spot. Try AMP, the world's smallest hearing aid at an unbelievably small price, just $750. It's ready to go in one visit, comfortable to wear, and virtually invisible when worn. Yes, you can now have verified best speech clarity. Hear every word. Call today to reserve your complimentary private consultation and experience word clarity dialed back into focus on the spot, risk-free.
Welcome back. With me right now from Advanced Ear Care is Stuart Spencer. I'd like to welcome you. Good to see you, as always.
Always good to see you as well.
And we're going to talk about a few things today, but one of them, you want to talk about telehear. So tell us about that and how you work with a team of doctors of audiology, right?
Right. So this is a fantastic program. You know, it ties right in to our offices. You know, so we come on with patients with every delivery we make. You know, we verify. You know, we always have verified best hearing. You know, so we always make sure they're hearing in a normal range or as close to that as possible. Once they get new hearing instruments, you know, we read people a list of words so that we know what their speech discrimination is with their hearing aids compared to without their hearing aids.
Yeah.
So they go from like 40% without them, you know, up to like 92% with them.
Wow.
You know, so then we hook up on a Skype call, right? You know, we have those big monitors in our office, you know, big 50, 60-inch monitors in our office. And so we hook up with this team of doctors of audiology, and we review all these results, look at the settings, talk to the patients, see how they're doing with the fitting, make sure they're really comfortable with their hearing aids, they know how to use them. You know, we always invite people back, of course, you know, the next week for follow-up visits. And then this team of doctors look at it, you know, all the results. It's kind of like, you know, a group of doctors looking at any medical issue.
Yeah,
You know, you always have a different set of eyes on it, you know, or 2 or 3 different sets. It's always to the patient's advantage.
Yes.
Right? So that's what we do, and we do it every day. And it's been a really powerful tool for us to really kind of just maximize the performance of the hearing aids for people, and so that they're getting the best hearing they can.
So I'm curious, what are some of the words you use?
So they're called phonetically balanced words.
Okay.
You know, they're very standardized tests, you know, for the audiological world. So, you know, they're words just like, you know, you guys sit here, you know, Jen, Min, you know, yeah, I can't think of the list.
So
I do them every day. It's so
all right,
funny.
so it's
just a real common word list.
Yeah.
You know, home, run, goose, love, you know, that type of thing. And they're just common words. But, you know, the whole key with hearing is, you know, you don't hear in your ear, you hear in your brain. You know, your ear is just your decoder that sends that information up there.
Right.
So most people have hearing loss, so it just stays here. You know, once we stimulate that auditory pathway with the hearing device, they get the sound up here, then they can process speech as rapidly as people speak it.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's what we want to test and make sure that's happening properly.
Very good. Yeah. Now, you know, you just touched on that, the ear-brain connection.
Oh, exactly.
And we sometimes forget our ears, our eyes, our nose, they're just conduits.
Boy,
that's all they are.
Yep. You know, it always amazes me, you know, with the current type of research that's being done and what's coming out now. You know, I've done this for, you know, what, 36 years. And, you know, for a good portion of that, we didn't know half of this type of stuff and how it relates to cognitive abilities. You know, hearing specifically relates to a lot of, you know, cognitive issues. You know, people with hearing loss, you know, very traditionally feel isolated. They feel more depressed. You know, but now these research papers, you know, Dr. Lin from Johns Hopkins University, he kind of led the way with pioneering this kind of research and showing that there was some relationship between untreated hearing loss and, you know, those people with untreated hearing loss are 4 or 5 times more likely to have Alzheimer's and dementia. You know, so, you know, you kind of look back on that in a real simplistic way, you know, it kind of makes sense, right? If you're not stimulating that
Right,
one
right.
of your major senses in your brain, then your brain starts to shift around and some negative things start to happen. But there's a lot going on there, and we're really fascinated and really privileged to be able to work with that and see people, come alive again with the way they're hearing and understanding speech and getting back into the game, with their families and friends or whatever that may be. You can kind of see the light go on.
Yeah, and you bring up a very good point that if you're not stimulating that certain part of your brain, no matter what it is, over time it has a cumulative effect in a negative way.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So this has been, it's been a real positive thing for us to realize this, live into it and make it better for people.
Yeah, very good. Now, maybe your hearing's okay, but you got some blockage going on, right?
Absolutely.
Or you feel like you're in a tunnel, which is we all get that when our ears plug up. Maybe when you are landing in a plane, or maybe you take a dive into the pool or something like that.
Yeah, there are literally hundreds of different issues that come up here, Ken, that we see all the time, and people come in and say, geez, my ear feels plugged up. Well, we look in there, a lot of times it's just simple earwax. Sometimes it's a little cotton they left in their ear from a cotton ball or something of that sort they put in there for some reason. Other times, the ear's clear, but the eustachian tube is plugged up, so they still really feel very occluded. We refer those people on to doctors. There's a multitude of reasons for feeling plugged up like that. Sometimes it is a pressure issue, from coming in from a recent flight or something of that sort. But, one of the fun things that we like to let people know is they can just come in and we'll just take a look in their ears. And so often people are so enthused when they are able to we put a camera in the ear and they can see their own ear right up on a TV screen. It's really kind of fun. I mean, who gets to see in their ears, right?
Yeah.
And so whether it's clean or a little waxy or hairy or, all those little things that happen, most of the time we're able to, get that cleared up and they can really feel a lot better, a lot more open, and they're kind of back on the air. And, while they're there, we, screen their hearing and just make sure everything's okay.
Let me, along those lines, let me ask you this. About your ears get plugged up from a plane or any altitude change, or you're swimming and you get out and your ears are plugged up for sometimes it could be a couple days.
Right.
What can be done to alleviate that? Are there things you can do at home?
There are, there's some real simple things that, it's kind of funny.
The plugging the nose and
people
blowing out.
think,
I don't know if that's good or
kind
bad.
of crazy, but you've always got the,
Yeah.
and if you do that, just mild pressure, right? You don't want to, like you're trying to blow something out of your ear.
Okay.
Just a mild pressure to kind of stretch that open. Usually what that does is just blow air up your eustachian tube, opens that little gap, and you feel that pressure release. You can also just move your jaw, and try to open that up. And everything's right here, right?
Yeah.
Your jaw, your ears, your everything.
Yeah.
So that opens up a lot. I have kind of a funny story I'll tell you real quick. I had a lady that I'd seen for 15, 16 years, and she came and she said, Stuart, I've lost my hearing in this ear. And it was way down, and we worked on it for a good month and a half, trying to get back up, just nothing. And she went and had her tooth pulled, and her hearing came back up.
Wow.
It was just some kind of relationship right there at the jaw and some, the sensory mechanism.
Wow.
There's a lot that goes on across your, sinus cavities, your eustachian tubes, your jaws, your teeth, so you just never know, So it's really kind of amazing how it all relates together. So we just like to take a look at the whole thing and make sure it's working the best it can be.
I remember years ago when my ears were really plugged up from altitude change in a plane. And it must have lasted a week or so. And what I did at the time, I had a friend of mine who had the same problem and went to the doctor, and I would lay on my side and put a few drops of hydrogen peroxide in my ear.
Oh,
and I don't know if this is right or wrong.
Sure.
It worked because it bubbles.
Yeah, sure.
And it got down into my ear, and after about a day, I did that a couple times a day, it worked.
It relieved it.
I don't know if that was right or wrong, but...
Yeah, one of the most interesting things I've ever heard, and 3 people told me this, is if you have that pressure type of problem, when you're descending or ascending in an airplane, if you just take a styrofoam cup, put a wet paper towel in it, in each of them, and put them over your ears, they said it works like a charm.
Of course, you look a little funny.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Willow Tree, the Willow Tree Center.
We're coming
Moving
along. Yeah, it's really starting to look good. They've got the basic format, fascia on the front of the building. They've got it all papered and all the chicken wire there ready to do all their stuff with. And it's been a process, but man, it's really looking good. They're coming along. So, of course, you know, July 31st was our deadline, but
Yeah,
as we move forward, you know, hopefully we'll go for August 30th, 31st, right in there. But it's really going to look nice, and we're starting to really take shape, and I'm really happy to see the progress being made there.
Yeah, that'll be really nice. And then I know once they do all the facade work, then they're going to look into adding a few other, like a little restaurant court or something.
That's right.
I don't know what it might be.
There's already a frozen yogurt place coming in there, I hear now. And
oh, good.
The nail salon and a hair salon, and of course the fitness center, and so you know, it's starting to fill up. It's great to see it.
All right, very good. Good to see you, sir, as
Thanks,
always.
Ken. Likewise.
And I know next time you come on, you're going to talk about the Starkey Foundation, probably.
Absolutely.
And your time in Minnesota.
Yeah, that'll be a great review.
And you always send us photos.
That's right.
So that'll be nice. AdvancedAirCare.com is the website. The number is 949-354-0079, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha Na Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village television. Grease for peace.
Summer is here. Diane's Hallmark has everything you need to make summer cool. From clothing to jewelry to unique one-of-a-kind gifts, Diane's Hallmark is the place to go. Diane's also has a large religious section as well. Come in today to see it all. Diane's Hallmark is located in the Walmart Shopping Center next to Hobby Lobby.
Hiring a realtor you trust is the first step in selling your home. Selecting an escrow company that can safeguard your money and personal information throughout the transaction is the next step. Escrow Options will guarantee the safety of your personal information and funds from the risks of wire fraud and cyber theft. Choose the escrow company that works for you. Escrow Options Group, protecting consumer assets in escrow since 2005.
Well, coming up this weekend at Westminster Mall is the Newport Harbor Orchid Society's Summer Exotic Plant and Orchid Festival. It's a wonderful time. I have Marilyn Bauer with me today. She's the vice president, and do this, I know at least once a year, twice a year sometimes. You're up at Westminster?
Yeah, we have two different shows at the Westminster Mall. In the February time frame, we do a orchid show, and it has displays that are quite extensive in addition to vendor selling. Mm-hmm. And so there's ribbon judging and AOS judging in the February show.
Okay.
And there's a lot of orchids blooming in February, so that's why it's time for that. But this show is usually in the summertime, and it includes other kinds of plants besides orchids. So the vendors will certainly be selling orchids, but they'll also be selling various plants, and so it's fun to go every year because you never know what other things you'll find for your garden.
Yeah, I remember going to this, I don't know how many years ago. I don't even know if it was you folks, but at the time that I went to it was at South Coast Plaza.
Oh yes, yes. We participated in that.
Yeah,
yes.
That was, I don't know how many years ago it was.
Quite a few.
Probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was really neat. I didn't know it was there. I was just going over to the mall, and there was all these beautiful plants and all the different kinds, of course, orchids,
yes.
but so many different things that people can buy there. And you know, if you want to buy the plumeria stalks. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, yes, that's.
Or whatever it might be.
Starts.
I just remember those.
Yes, yes.
And it's really great because you can also get advice on
Well,
how to take care of them.
That's the best part about buying from a vendor, like at a show like this, because then you can talk to the vendor about that particular plant and learn how to grow it. Whereas Trader Joe's has wonderful plants at a good price, but you're handed this, it doesn't even have a name. And so you just put it on your living room table and enjoy it, and you don't know what to do with it. And so it's really better to go to a vendor until you start learning how to identify and how to grow these things.
Yeah, and you learn about the different species of.
Yes.
You know, obviously, you guys are orchids, and you know how many thousands of varieties of orchids. And I know when we've had people on in the past, they went through all the different kinds. That are some you can just cut down the middle and split.
Yes.
There are others that love sun, some that don't, and others you can. If you have the way to do it, you know, they grow on sides of trees and all. It's just, it was fascinating.
Well, they grow all over the world
Yeah.
in all different kinds of conditions. So it's why it's important to know the name of that particular orchid so that you'll know where it grows, and then you can better understand its background to kind of duplicate that in your backyard. And it's not difficult to grow once you sort of know where it comes from. And then you can meet those requirements. And in Southern California, it can't be any easier because many of them you can grow outside all year long.
Yeah, and I know that you know, with a lot of them, they may not, especially the weather we've had lately, the direct sun.
No, that's usually not good.
I mean, even my tomato plants died off with, with all that heat and sun.
Yeah, that's rather exceptional. But no, shade is generally the best idea for orchids. I mean, you can make some generalizations that are good to follow, and shade is one of those. And
as I said, there's many varieties that can be split down the middle. I know there's a word for that. I'm not using
divided. They call that divisions, making divisions.
And like many other plants, like daylilies and things like that. And it's great because you can buy one plant that you really like and, you know, find out how to do it properly, cut it down the middle, and keep going and going and going, and it's great.
And that's why it's good to go to an orchid club meeting, and you learn so much about the culture and that. You can talk to other growers, and you can learn all this knowledge to help you get better at it. And then, of course, there's the internet, and that's why it's important to keep the name of the plant that you buy, and then you just type that into the search, and pages and pages of information come out, or even just how to divide an orchid.
Yeah.
So then you can be starting your own business.
That's you know, it's a good point that you make, that many places sell orchids, like Trader Joe's and all, and they're wonderful. They're fairly inexpensive.
Yes.
But you may not know what you're getting, because I don't think they usually have the name on it.
They don't. They don't.
And with all the different varieties, most people go in and they go, "Oh, I like that color," and that's fine.
That is.
And you might get lucky and have one last for several years, like we've had. But if you don't know what it is, it can have different care than something else.
Yes, and then you end up sort of liking it, and then a lot of times people come to our club meetings and they'll say, well, I bought this at Trader Joe's, how do I grow it? So then we have to go, well, does it have this kind of leaf or that kind of flower? And this is guessing game before we can actually tell them what to do with it. So if somebody has a plant that they really like and they want to learn how to grow it, they should take a picture of it. They could go to the show and ask some of the vendors. And also at the show, there's always an information table, whether it's the one in February or this one that's coming up. And people that sit at the information table will answer your questions just on and on and on.
Now, besides the show here, which I encourage people to go to, we talked about Trader Joe's, but where is there a place that you know of that people can go and buy orchids? I guess a lot of nurseries around here, probably Green Thumb nurseries, probably the closest, where you can actually get the name of it and a little bit of information on it.
Yes, I think when you go to a nursery like Green Thumb or Rogers or Armstrong, you can get more information, and sometimes they do have a name on it, and that's another better way to do it. And then, of course, if you really want after you get into it, you go on the internet. You know, eBay is a great source for plants, and so you can buy orchids. Some of them might not be in bloom, but you'll get the orchid that you want. If you're into searching for a particular kind.
And that's a great way to go. And really, They don't, unless you're, I guess, getting some real specialty one. Even if you go into a nursery, they really don't cost all that much. You can obviously go up in price for very rare ones, but you can still find them for almost the price you'd pay at Trader Joe's or something like that.
Yeah, they don't have to be expensive. It's true that some of these specialty hybrids and all, they can get into, you know, rather pricey.
Like anything, yeah.
Yes, just like anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been at Cactus Society meeting, and I'll pick up this little thing. Oh, $500. Well, okay.
It's a cactus. But, you know, for people that really want to have a good time and just see beautiful plants, I really encourage people to go up there.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It's a lot of fun. It's free parking.
Yes,
and
you can wander around, and there's going to be the Vietnamese Orchid Society is going to have their bonsai and
that'll
their
be
art
neat.
exhibit.
Yeah,
and
that'll
I
be
don't know
really
if you've
nice.
ever seen those, but sometimes they bring plants that are absolutely huge. They have special cranes that they bring them in. I mean, you
Really?
cannot
Wow.
lift these things. They're so impressive, and they're very, very old. They pass them on from generation to generation. And
That
so
would be a lot of fun
I
to see
spend a
that.
lot of time in there just talking to the growers, because they'll have the grower of some of these plants in there, and you can ask them questions, and that's also very fun.
Well, very good. Well, again, that's coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Westminster Mall. And the information is right there on the screen, 10 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 11 to 6 on Sunday. For more information, go to the Newport Harbor Orchid Society website. You see the link at the bottom there, and find out all kinds of information. By the way, on their website, they have videos, and they also link to other things. So
Oh yes, you can get culture information, and
yeah.
links to the AOS, the American Orchid Society, which has also lots of information on their website. It's lots of info out there.
yeah, it is. Thank you
Yes.
very much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. I appreciate it. And go up to the Orchid Plant Festival and have some fun, and maybe buy a beautiful plant to take
Yes.
home. We'll be
Yes.
right back.
Are you considering cremation? Pacific Cremation Society offers simple and affordable cremation plans. Why do families choose us? Simple and affordable, discounted membership pricing, chartered memorials at sea, expert service and compassionate care, free advanced planning guide and consultation. Call now for your free planning guide.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sean Thomas. Welcome to Sports Talk. Come join me here every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for sports highlights, tournament news, and interviews for Laguna Woods residents and around the world. Hey, maybe even Broadway. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Put it on your calendar. Thursday mornings, a great way to start your day with me and the Sports Talk way. Or even a triple's okay. I'll see you then.
If you truly want to make a difference, there's no better way than a career in California water, a dynamic, essential industry at a critical turning point.
Water is absolutely the most crucial thing hitting our Central Valley and our state.
It's work that's so essential that people want to stick with it if they're in it.
It will be life-changing, not only for yourself, but for generations to come.
Through times of drought, aging infrastructure, and a growing population, the water leaders of tomorrow will seek innovative solutions to unprecedented challenges, helping protect California's most vital resource.
We have to broaden our network so that we can bring all the bright minds together to solve a problem that has to be solved.
It's a valuable resource. We need to protect it, and we always need people to do that.
The water business isn't just about delivering water, moving it from point A to point B. A new wave of opportunities are emerging, from working in the field to a water quality lab, shaping policy in a boardroom to customer service and human resources, tackling complex regulations, or leveraging technology for critical improvements in water efficiency and sustainability.
It's not just building pipes and pump stations anymore.
We need engineers, we need those in the hard sciences, we need those in the soft sciences, people that understand law, understand public policy.
You need the accountants, you need the rate setters.
We need all types and all hands on deck.
There's nothing more central to California's future than carrying on the water industry's mission.
It's a tremendous responsibility we have in delivering that water resource that you can't live without.
If you really want to make an impact, then this is where you're going to have the most impact.
In California Water, you'll find a vast array of long-term, well-paying careers with numerous opportunities to grow and make your mark, and new initiatives welcoming the next generation.
It makes me feel like I can make a real big difference.
If you think that this industry is a non-changing industry, that's exactly the reason why you have to get involved. That's why you have to come in to affect that change.
It's only going to become more important as years go on, too.
Why not be that person to take the water industry to the next level?
We're going to have to be more innovative, we're going to have to collaborate more, and we'll need a new generation to help us do that.
The impact that your service will bring to public service and to water in general will last for generations to come.
Kiana Lee. Today, we're talking with Dr. Christine Chung. Today's topic is gum disease. Doctor, what do we need to know about gum disease? Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gum disease is an infection of the tissue that support and surround your teeth. It's a major cause of tooth loss in adults, but it's an easy fix.
Thank you, doctor. So don't wait, people. Come on in and get your 7-day dental smile.
Welcome back. Today our guest is from Saddleback Medical Center, Dr. Samer Kanan, who is a thoracic surgeon. He is going to talk to us about robotic-assisted thoracic surgery that treats lung cancer. Dr. Kanan, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
So before we get into the actual surgery, why don't you tell me a little bit about the areas that you specialize in?
Oh, great. Yeah, I'm a thoracic surgeon, which thoracic is a fancy term for the chest, so anything in the chest. I focus on non-cardiac, meaning I don't do bypass surgery, but I'll do everything else. Lung cancer is the predominant condition I treat, but it could be the thymus, diaphragm, esophagus, lymph nodes, anything in the chest, pleura or the lining of the chest. But lung cancer and particularly surgery on patients' lungs for lung cancer is my most common condition or procedures I do, and my passion, so to speak, of what I like to do.
Right. Now, before we started the show, we were talking about, how long does it take to actually become the type of surgeon that, I know you've been through a lot of training,
yes.
a lot of schooling, but sometimes people have a particular passion, like you said, for lung cancer. So how did you get involved with that?
Well, during my training, you find what you spend a lot of time doing and enjoying, and I was fortunate to go to some really great institutions like USC and the Brigham Harvard's Hospital. And during that time, I learned that spending my time as a thoracic surgeon, where I could spend time as a thoracic, kind of a surgical oncologist. There are medical and radiation, but I see myself as a surgical oncologist. And so having that relationship with my patients is really important, and being able to take care of them for years, hopefully, is what I enjoy, and being able to cure them from cancer is my goal. So I really found that very rewarding, and that's kind of where I gravitated, and I'm so happy I did.
That's excellent. Now, okay, so we've got robotic-assisted thoracic surgery now. So how has that changed the way that you do surgery now?
Absolutely. Well, we used to do an open surgery. It was called thoracotomy, and explain to patients, we'd make a large incision and sometimes cut out a rib or break a rib.
Oh gosh.
They'd be in the hospital 10, 14 days. It might take them months, 3-6 months to recover. And we switched over to video assisted. We call that VATS, and did that for a few years. And it was an advantage, smaller incisions, but it had limitations. It was two-dimensional, and the instruments were kind of fixed. And so robotic surgery developed, and then became applicable to the thoracic field. And what was nice about that is it was now three-dimensional. And you could zoom in. Instead of the robot arms, now your hands could move. So the precision, we use the term articulation, the ability to rotate and move your wrists and hands. It's incredible. I can now do operations that I think are better cancer operations because I can see the lymph nodes, I can take them all out, I can take the tumor. It's a safer operation. I can see blood vessels, I dissect everything nice and precisely. And, and so instead of a week in the hospital, most of my patients are 2 or 3 nights in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
1 or 2 weeks, and they're back in my office, and they're almost back to full recovery.
Okay.
What I've noticed is able to offer operations to patients who historically we couldn't offer an operation. They were too high risk, or they. So I've operated on people in their 80s and 90s. They've done fantastic. Pain is a huge improvement. Many of my patients have no pain. Wow. So I send them home on prescriptions. Half of them tell me they don't even fill their prescriptions.
Right.
So it's really, I think, revolutionized the idea that it's the same cancer operation. It's just, 8 millimeter.
Well, I was going to say, so now you don't have the real large one now, right?
3 or 4 8 millimeter incisions.
Okay.
And that just reduces the pain. It allows faster return to work or family or the regular activities.
Right.
And it's really, I think, allowed surgeons to, again, do a better, safer operation, which is really the goal. Right?
Exactly.
You want to cure patients, and so I'm excited, and I think that the technology has developed, and it's exciting.
So you don't have to break a rib doing this either, right? You just sort of bypass it.
Correct.
That's great.
Yeah,
and you said you could zoom in.
Right. What's nice is the video assisted camera, and historically was just a simple camera. The robot actually, when the way the operation works is the patient's asleep.
Yes.
I'll make multiple small incisions, and I'll put my instruments, and then there's a console. So I bring the robotic machine and connect it to these ports.
Okay.
Put my instruments in, and then I will go to the console and I'll take over. So I'm doing the operation. The robot's allowing me to zoom in and do these fine maneuvers.
Okay.
The camera is wonderful because it's 2 eyes. So the camera itself has 2 channels, one for the left eye, one for the right eye.
Wow.
So the precision to be able to zoom in and see, in 3 dimension. It's a huge advantage.
Okay.
And then, of course, when I'm done with the operation and the tumor's been removed, I come back in, remove the instruments, close everything up, and it can take an hour to 2.5 hours, depending on how complex the operation.
Right.
And again, the robot will mimic your hand movements. So when you sit at the console. And you move this, then the actual instrument is doing the exact same thing that your hands are doing.
Right.
And some of the fine things we like to, when you zoom into the robot, we'll do some demos for patients or community events, and you'll have, like, for example, a $5 bill, and you can zoom in and you can actually see on the Lincoln Memorial all the names of the states on the $5 bill by zooming in with the robot.
Wow.
So I challenge people to take your $5 bill out and be able to see all those states, because you won't be able to.
No. Well, maybe next time you come on, we'll have some video that would actually show the robotic operation or something similar.
Great.
That would be awesome. So lung cancer, how do people prevent lung cancer?
Well, lung cancer is unfortunately the #1 killer of all cancers, and that's not just for men, but also for women. Smoking is the #1. 90% of people who get lung cancer were former smokers.
Right.
Pollution does play a role. So if people are exposed to pollution or environmental, meaning if you work in a certain job that you're on fumes or a lot of inhalants, so obviously protecting yourself with a mask, but making sure that people quit smoking or don't start smoking.
Right.
Secondhand smoke is a small risk. It's not as bad if you're, but it'd be nice if you don't get exposed to secondhand smoke. And, California is very progressive in terms of our restaurants and all the places to make sure we don't have smoking in public places. But the #1 is quitting smoking.
Right. Well, it's surprising to me, with all of the reports that you have out there, why are people still smoking?
It's a great question. You know, when the Surgeon General came out and said that smoking had caused cancer, we had about 50 million Americans who were smokers or former smokers. That number did drop down to about 20, 22 million, but that hasn't changed. So we got the number down, but we haven't been able to. So I think some of it's education. I wish I had that magic answer, but I don't know. It seems to be that there's certain people who want, and that's a hard habit to break.
Right, exactly. And then at what point do you think you need to have screening done to make sure that you don't have any lung cancer? What are some of the...
Oh, that's a great question. Lung cancer screening has kind of been a topic that we've debated in the medical circle for a long time. And we didn't have a good answer. We tried chest x-ray, that didn't work very well. And very recently, there was a New England Journal of Medicine article that showed that screening with CAT scans for lung cancer saved lives. And it took time, and eventually it got approved. And there's a group of patients that the study showed. So if you're over the age of 55 to about the age of 75, and you were a former smoker, and you didn't have any symptoms, meaning chest pain or coughing and things like that, that you would get a yearly lung cancer screening could save lives. It would detect cancers. And the CAT scan, too, for patients who are worried, it's a low-dose screening, so it's just a little bit more radiation than an x-ray. But the detail of a CAT scan is so much better. I tell patients the difference between an x-ray and a CAT scan is like maybe a two-dimensional picture versus a three-dimensional movie.
Oh, wow.
Right, so the ability to see and find things. And if your lung cancer screening is abnormal, then they'll have you see a specialist and deal. And if it's clear, then you keep getting it every year. For me, I think the passion when it comes to lung cancer is get people to not smoke or quit. And if you were a former smoker, I encourage everyone to ask your doctor about getting a lung cancer screening. And if you happen to have something and you need to have surgery on your lung, I encourage patients to find a robotic surgeon who can do your lung surgery, because it's just a better, safer, better outcome surgery. Hopefully they won't need the surgery. Hopefully they quit or they don't smoke in the first place. But if they do, we can catch it with a lung cancer screening, and if so, then we can do kind of state-of-the-art surgery if they need it.
So when someone is smoking, is it like, what if somebody only smoked for a year, and then you have somebody who smoked for 30 years? Is there still the risk of the year?
Yes, but it's a lot smaller. It is definitely related to not only how long you smoke, but how much you smoke. So we use the term pack year. So if you smoke 3 packs a day for a year, that you would have 3-pack year. Versus if you smoked half a pack for 5 years, you'd only have 2.5-pack year.
I see.
So it's not just the amount of the cigarettes, but also how long we kind of multiply them, and that's how you find out.
I see. All right, well, that's good to know, because I would imagine that people would be like, well, I only smoke so much, but actually it could be just as bad.
Yes, no, it could be. So, and unfortunately some people, genetics plays a role. We're trying to find all those things out, but even a small exposure, if you have the certain genes, could put you at higher risk than somebody who might have had more exposure, but they don't have those genes. And
so there is no gene, is there a gene test for that at all? Because I know they're starting to do that with breast cancer.
Correct. For lung cancer, they are, in the tumor, we're finding mutations, and if you have those, then we're finding that there are medications and things that can help you.
Good, great. Well, gosh, great information.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, and this has been great. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And if you have any questions or need more information, you can always go to memorialcare.org/SB-Cancer. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to the Towers. As president of our association, I'd like to tell you about life here. Membership includes nightly open menu dinners, weekly housekeeping, on-call maintenance, and a range of on-site activities. Join our community of active, independent seniors. It's elevated living in a hotel-style environment. Visit us at towers@lagunawoodsvillage.com.
Well, right down the street here at the Lake Hills Corporate Park in Laguna Hills is the new Braille Institute Neighborhood Center. And I'm here with Sandra Albert, who is the Field Services Manager.
We wanted to be able to be part of this community. We know that there's a lot of seniors that are in need of our services. And so this Laguna Hills Neighborhood Center will help us provide that service locally, provide that one-on-one home service, and also all of our core classes and services here. Yeah, and for now and today and many years to come, we're very excited to be here.
Now, how does this differ for your regional centers? Is it just a smaller, more concentrated center?
More concentrated, and also the programming will be a bit different.
Okay.
Since we will be concentrating on, 4 to 6 week classes. That way, whenever somebody new is coming in, we'll be able to have that circulating program that will be able to service the people that are coming in fresh. So as soon as you start noticing that you're having difficulty with daily living activities, anything from dialing your phone, a phone number, anything from reading your mail to putting on makeup, things like that, we can start helping you, making sure that you're aware of what's available to help you to continue to do things on your own.
You were helping people at the point where hopefully they've been to their eye care specialist, they figured out what type of a problem they may have, and going forward, they may need some added help just to get through the day.
Yes, definitely. We always want to emphasize that they keep on going to their eye doctor, and especially if they're coming in for the first time, we want to make sure that we know exactly what their eye condition is and what's their remaining vision. How can we maximize that remaining vision that they have? So we do have a doctor's referral form. Call us and we'll mail it to you. Let us know what your goals are.
Okay.
What difficulties are you having? And that's when we also, for people who can't come to us, I'm very happy that we'll be able to provide that one-on-one at their home.
Right.
Because there we
That's
will be
important,
able,
the one-on-one
we'll
at
be
the
able
home.
to assess their needs, make up a plan of action, and target the goals that they want to reach.
All right.
Yeah.
What's nice today compared to even just 5-10 years ago is in the home, people nowadays have different kinds of devices, whether it's tablets or even their phone, that often have great accessibility for people who are having problems with their sight and can really help them out, right?
Yes, definitely. We're very excited. Our technology center, our connection point, that's what we call it, it's one of our most popular program actually, because people are coming in and we're showing them how they can stay connected to their loved ones.
Yeah.
So by learning how to use the iPhone, the iPad, being able to download their books, text, read their emails and all of that through their devices, it's a great program.
All these devices have ways to make the type larger. Of course, you can now dictate into them. They can read for you, whatever you want. And this is something that if they can't make it out to an Apple store and an Android store or whatever it might be, they can come over here and you can show them how to get the benefit, right?
Yes, and try them out before you purchase them. Make sure that you know if it's the right fit for you. And it's all a one-on-one. Bob, our access technology specialist, will be able to help you one-on-one.
Fantastic. Now, what is the cost of somebody coming in here?
Yes, our services are totally free. Thanks to the wonderful people here, our local donors who provide, yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, you just opened here. What are your hours of operation?
Yes, we open at 8:30, Monday through Friday, and close at 5 o'clock.
Okay, and we want to emphasize that this is at the Lake Hills Corporate Park, right?
It's right next to the clock tower and right in back of the second driveway.
Yeah, so it's really easy to get to. So, of course, there's the brailleinstitute.org, there's the website there, and there's the 800 number, but there's a local number here for this center, right?
Yes, yes. Anyone wanting more information about our programs and services or wanting to schedule a low vision consultation, wanting me to mail them the doctor's referral form so they can get started, yeah, they can call our 949 area code 330-5062. So that's area code 949-330-5062.
Very good. And of course, you can go online, brailleinstitute.org, to kind of start things up again and start from there, and then get the local number here. Fantastic that you're here with your new neighborhood center. Thank you very much, Sandra. A pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much for having us.
If you asked me what I wanted to be when I was a child, I would have told you a princess or an astronaut, maybe even a chef. But things change. I may not have become a princess, but I found someone who treated me like one. I may not have become an astronaut, but I still got to see the world. I may not have become a chef, but you would never leave my house hungry. The Emeritus Institute has kept my love of learning alive. Every day is a new adventure, and the Emeritus classes have made it possible to keep living out my dreams. Sign up today and begin your life's next adventure.
Welcome back. Movies today. We have Sherlock Gnomes. Love the name. It looks like a very cute movie. We have voices by James McAvoy, Emily Blunt, and Johnny Depp. And it is about cute little garden gnomes. You know, pronouncing these is a crack up. Romeo and Juliet recruit renowned detective Sherlock Gnomes to investigate the mysterious disappearance of other garden ornaments. And take a look how cute this is. The animation's adorable. You know, sometimes you just get kind of wrapped up in these adorable movies, so super fun. And that's going to be on Friday, August 17th, that's this Friday, at 2 p.m. and also 7 p.m. And again, the cute little voices are Emily Blunt and Johnny Depp. So that one looks fun. And then some movies that we also have coming up on other Mondays, Friday, we have Jailhouse Rock. That'll be on August 24th. And then we have Overboard, which is August 31st. And if you remember many years ago, Overboard was created with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, and that was a super funny movie, so they kind of redid that one. And then on Monday, August 20th, we have Last Flag Flying, and that has Bryan Cranston, Lawrence Fishburne, and also Steve Carell, and that is a more serious movie, which is 30 years after they all served together in Vietnam. A former Navy corpsman, Larry Doc Shepard, reunites with his old buddies, former Marines Sal Nealon and Reverend Richard Mueller, to bury his son, a young Marine killed in the Iraq War. And that looks, like I said, a really good movie. That's rated R, and it's about 125 minutes, and it's actually directed by Richard Linklater. Monday, August 20th at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. And you can see that one on Monday. Other Monday movies, which would be the last Monday, August 27th, we have, I think one of Ken's favorites is Avengers Infinity War. So that looks awesome. Okay, other things going on in the village. Don't forget that you can run for office. Now, you've missed United's deadline. That was Friday, August 10th, but you can still do 3rd, which is Wednesday, August 15th is the deadline at 5 p.m. And they're asking you to make a difference, and applications are being accepted for 3rd Laguna Hills Mutual Board of Directors. Applying to volunteer for a position on the board is a great opportunity to make a difference. And you can get the applications and instructions of the election process, and that'll be in the general manager's office in the community center, and that's here on 24351 El Toro Road. And I believe you go to the 2nd floor, and you can speak with the corporate secretary, Cheryl Silva, or you can speak to Catherine Laster. And you return the completed application, like I said, by Wednesday, August 15th. So you only have a couple of days, actually one day. And you need to get that in as soon as possible. And then also another fun event we have coming up is a jazzy evening with the New York Club. And that's going to be on August 15th. And they're hosting a virtuoso songstress, Bonnie Browden, on Wednesday, August 15th in Clubhouse 5. She is a renowned singer with perfect pitch, She was a coloratura soprano. I'm sure I butchered that. She enthralls audiences with a variety of jazz, pop, Broadway, and classical selections. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the show starts at 7:15. There will be a GRF no-host bar, and that opens at 6. Refreshments will be served following the program, and the members are free. Guests are $5 at the door, and don't forget to sign up for the club's upcoming dinner dance tribute show to Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, so that looks like a lot of fun. We also have Picnic with the PC Club, or Stop by the Lab and Escape the Heat, although it has cooled down quite a bit this week. If you'd like an old-fashioned summer picnic, don't miss the PC Club on Tuesday, August 21st at 5:30 p.m. Details are at the PC Workshop at the Community Center, and the website is www.thepcclub.org, or you can pick up a flyer at the nearest clubhouse. Okay, we also have the Village Library. They've extended their hours. Well, they will be extending their hours starting on Wednesday, August 15th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And remember, the library always has a lot of fun things to do, so that is a good place to go to beat the heat if it happens to be warm out. And then on tomorrow's, let's go to the weather first. Let's take a look at our weather, make sure that we recap what Ken already told you about this morning. You know, it's actually quite pleasant. It's not going to be too super hot out. We've got sunny, hazy, and mild, 83-67. Tomorrow, again, sunny and hazy. I noticed the haze yesterday. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's leftover smoke. 84-68. Sunny, nice day on Thursday, 85-68. And Friday, also a sunny, nice day with 85-68. And Saturday, sunny and just a little bit warmer with 87-69. Around town, North OC, 88. Beaches, 79. South OC 86, San Diego 87, Inland 89, Foothills 88, Arrowhead is only 79, and Palm Springs is still in the triple digits with 109. So looks pretty good out. And then, you know, looks pretty good, so take a look outside. And then we also have coming up on tomorrow's show, we have Friends of the Village, we have the Senior Center, El Toro Pharmacy, and also the California Proton. Now, if you're watching our 9:30 program this morning, stay tuned because following our program, we have United Board meeting. Have a great day in the Village, and we'll see you tomorrow.